Hope you're all doing great today. Feeling present, feeling blissful. For those of you guys that might not know me, my name is Prasiddha. I am the host, the voice of Kundalini Yogini, and today I am going to be talking on a spiritual concept, or you could even just say a universal truth that has been very much in my field of consciousness over the past month or so, especially, and really, really, really in my consciousness the last 2 weeks. And hopefully it resonates. Hopefully it resonates with some of you guys. So thank you for joining. Hey, Caitlin. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay, where you're tuning in from. I always like to see that. Love to connect more personally with everybody who's on the live. So yes, please do let me know. Please do let me know. How's everybody doing this week? How's the week? How's December going? How's everybody feeling out there? I would love to just check in with you guys, see where everybody's at as we go deeper into this. Hi, Crystal. Hey, hey, hey. San Diego. Nice. You're super close. I love San Diego. Hi, Joshua. Wavelength. Montreal. Nice. Ooh, that sounds awesome, Caitlin. That sounds really lovely. Beautiful. London. Hi, Jacob. Cool. Very cool. We're all over the map. I always love that. Sheila in Canada. Hello, hello. Great to have you on here. So today I wanted to share about the concept that there is no destination. There is no destination. What does this really mean? Hi, Paul and Jason. Very cool. So yes, what does this really mean? There is no destination. I have been going through an intense spiritual transformation, realization, turning of the world upside down, especially for the past 2 years of my life. I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate. It has definitely been a time period globally of massive shifts in consciousness. I think a lot of us can affirm that and can resonate with that. So I'm sure I'm not alone in that feeling. For those of you guys out there, let me know too if you've been in that space the last year, last 2 years. So my entire life has gotten completely flipped upside down over the past 2 years. A lot of you guys might know from being a part of my channel for multiple years how different my life looks now than when I started my channel. When I lived in India, when I was married, when I was living in the ashram, clearly so much has shifted, right? So much has shifted in my life, and I don't like there's no label for it, and there doesn't need to be any label for it, because all that exists is right now, what I'm experiencing right now. And I don't I don't look back on anything with a mm, negative feeling or grasping feeling or holding on to anything like that, because the truth of the matter is that that doesn't exist. Any story that I tell myself about where I've come from, what I used to experience, even in the positive side of things, guys, and this is where we get really hung up. I hope this clicks for some of you guys. It's really easy to have a powerful spiritual experience and then try to recreate it. How many of us are guilty of that, right? We might have had an experience in meditation, we might have had an experience in, you know, in some program with a guru, with plant medicine, and it's so powerful and so transformative, or multiple experiences, right? And then we look back in hindsight and we're like, why don't I feel that anymore, right? What's going on? Like, is something wrong that I'm not feeling so blissful anymore, that I'm not feeling so mystical anymore, that I'm not having these cool whatever it might be, right? We attach ourselves. We attach ourselves to some story we've created from memory, from the past. And that in itself is where we go wrong. That in itself is where we go wrong, because the past can only cause us mental suffering because it doesn't exist. That's the truth. It does not have any real existence in the here and now. And so any story that we tell ourselves is exactly that. It's a story. It's a story. And what stories do is cause suffering. They create thought patterns, they create thought shafts, they create emotions. And all of these stories we tell ourselves affect us in the here and now only, right? It doesn't have anything to do with what happened then or what's going to happen, but it puts a weight on our present experience, our present moment experience. And so I've been really deeply reflecting on this lesson, right? This truth. And you'll hear all masters across the board share about this, whether it's Swamiji, my guru, or Ram Dass, or Bentino, or Abraham Hicks. All of them share about this truth over and over and over again. And it's like a broken record. And I think our arrogant mind, our ignorant, arrogant mind thinks, oh, I've heard this a million times, right? I get it. But we don't get it. We don't get it because it's everything. It's everything. The stories that we create cause all of our resistance to the present, all of our lack of acceptance, all of the suffering comes from that resistance, right? To what is now happening. What is now happening to us is the only truth, the only experience. What we're now experiencing in our inner space, what's now happening in front of us, is the only thing that exists. So what are we going to do with that? What are we going to do with that? That's the only question. How do I want to feel right now? How do you want to feel right now in this moment? Do you want to be in your pain body? Do you want to be completely in another location, in another dimension up here, missing all of the beauty around you, missing all of the opportunity around you, missing all of the teachings and blessings that are trying to show themselves in every moment, right? That's what we do when we get held up in the past. And the same exact thing can be said for the future. So that dwelling, that sadness, that grief, whatever it might be, that resistance that comes from being in the past can also be very much created by being in the future as well. Because same side of the coin, right? It doesn't exist. None of that has happened yet, and us thinking about it will not change it regardless. And this is that funny, really, really twisted game we play in our mind. Our ego plays with us, right? We think that if we think about something enough, that we can control it, right? That's the story that we tell ourselves. If I think about this situation, if I think about this relationship, if I think about this problem I'm having with my spouse or my career or whatever it is, that it will change. I will have an effect on the future. I'll be able to control an outcome, right? None of this is also true. It's all about the surrender. It really, really does all come back to the surrender. And why I wanted to title this video, There Is No Destination, is because just as much as I share with you guys, I share with myself, right? I truly believe and experience that we are all one being. We are all one being. And so whatever you're realizing, whatever I'm realizing, etc., is all one and the same. So I keep bringing myself back to this idea that there is no destination, because on the path, again, we get so consumed by either what we experienced before or what we want to experience, right? Whether that's a spiritual experience or whether that's a career change or a relationship or where we want to live, whatever it might be, right? Any desire that we have. We hold on to this and we have some objective, right? Some goal that we want to achieve with our actions. And this in itself can be such a blind spot, because what we're telling ourselves, what we're telling the universe, what we're telling life, right, is that I'm not there. I'm not where I want to be, right? I'm not where I want to be because I want this, 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 and that's not happening right now. So, what have we done by that thought current itself? We've ripped ourselves, we've robbed ourselves out of the experience of the present moment. It's absolutely impossible to be here now, be here now before if we are trying to be somewhere else, if we're trying to achieve something else. And the first question that pops into a lot of our heads, right, is always, then wouldn't I just be a lazy guy doing nothing all day if I'm supposed to have no goal, if I'm supposed to have no objective? No. There's a difference between knowing and accepting the truth that there is no destination, there's nowhere for you to get other than the perfection of where you are, and still being intensely active and moving forward. Because when we are actually completely immersed in the present, when we're completely immersed in presence, awareness, we are the most dynamic, active beings. We are the creator. We are the creator itself because we're in that energy, that true energy. And so it's just, it's this space that opens up all other doorways, right? Exactly, Crystal. It's like the balance between life has so much meaning and it's also purposeless. And this isn't in a nihilistic way. It's that, again, there's no destination outside of what you already have, outside of what you already are. This is one of the kind of central ways, generally speaking, that we give our power away, right? Especially as spiritual seekers, right? A lot of times we give our power away because we think we don't know. Like, I don't know the answer. I don't know where I'm supposed to be. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. And we put away that responsibility on something else, somebody else, some other experience, a teacher, whatever it might be. And so we rob ourselves of the truth of existence, which is that it all is here right now. Everything you seek, you've already achieved because you are that. There's actually no steps to get it. There is no path to get it. There is no practice to get it. It's there already. So how could you not have it? Right? Like that is the ultimate truth. And it can sound like a lot of wordplay, right? A lot of jargon, but it is the truth. It really, really is the truth. That that bliss, that enlightenment, that self-realization you seek literally already is you. That space is already there. There's no moment other than right now to experience it. You're not waiting for 20 years. You're not practicing for 50 years. You're not going to experience it when you die. None of that is reality. The only reality is now. The only reality is now. So all that we have to do is get out of the way. All that we have to do is get out of our own way. Surrender into that space, that beautiful space of complete surrender, acceptance, and realization you already are everything which you seek. Everything flowers from this. Everything flowers from this space, right? And truly what we seek, right? What our ego, what our identity seeks in a relationship, right? In searching for love and searching for any type of material desire that we have is actually only found in this space, in this realization. That connection, that nourishment, that love, that abundance we seek is existing only inside of us now. We are the source of this. We are the literal source of this and only source of this in our life. Yes, exactly, Eric. Being is primary, doing is secondary. I would even say doing is irrelevant because doing happens from being only. You don't even have to think of the word when you're in the being, right? So our society and our world is 100% focused only on doing, right? On action. And so naturally, we've gotten so confused, we've gotten so away from the truth of our existence, that it all exists right here, that every moment is waiting to unflower, right? To grow, to branch off. This is our being. Like in every moment, we're growing new petals, we're opening new dimensions of ourselves, and being in this space and surrendering into this space that, hey, actually, even enlightenment isn't a goal for me. Even enlightenment is not a destination. That is a myth. Swamiji, he always shared that, and I never understood it. I never understood it until this last year, really, that it is here now. It's a choice, it's a decision to be now, to be in your existence, to be in the space of what you already are. Simple as that. It's actually not more complex. And we like to like make it more complex. Our mind loves to make it more complex. But I need to do, you know, 15 years of tapas. But I need to do all these practices and all this sadhana to reach this objective. No, you don't. You don't. You actually don't have to do that. There's nothing you have to do but complete relaxation into the space that you are. It's actually so beautiful and so simple, right? So beautiful and so simple. And it can be easy. We have to decide that it's easy. We also tell ourselves, I'm guilty of it. We also tell ourselves it's hard. Like this must be hard. Surrendering is hard. How? How do I do it? How? All of that is how you don't do it. Stop asking. Stop asking questions. Stop seeking for answers. Just be. Just be in it. Yes, absolutely, Rob. I'm going to go into the comments now. Sorry I missed it as I was just kind of channeling all that. Thank you, Cowboy Swami. Appreciate your sharing of abundance. Okay, let me scroll here, guys. Yeah, Amber, it actually fell off. My pendant fell off. I need to reattach it. I have it with me, but it broke. Amsterdam, very cool. Oh, Kate, I'm so glad it's resonating. Why do we create the stories in our head then? Is it for healing or broken record, which I put myself on again and again, or does it tell some trauma that hasn't healed? This can be a tricky one. This can be a tricky one. Healing is instantaneous, but in order to, how do I say, sometimes in order for our body and our mind to catch up to the decision that we've made, we go through some type of shadow work process, completion process, to be rooted in the space of healing. This can be a tricky balance, right? Because we don't want to spiritually bypass things, ignore the experiences or stories that we're having. And so sometimes we need to take a moment to accept, again, accept where you are right now. Where I am right now is a space of, I have some stories. Okay, beautiful. Nothing wrong with that. Where I am right now, I have stories. I'm aware of that. So there are some stories I'm very aware that I'm still holding on to, and I'm not quite able to shift out of them yet, or I haven't made the decision to, I should say, right? Okay, I accept that also. I accept that also. That's part of the experience I'm having right now. What else is there? There's nothing wrong with that, right? Only again, we try to put some label and judgment on it as well, right? Some condition on what we should or shouldn't be, how we should or shouldn't feel, right? I'm just trying to catch up, guys. Trying to scroll back here. Okay. Oh, Rob, oh my gosh, it's so cool to have you on here. So, I don't know if you guys can see Rob, he's in the comments. We literally bumped into each other, like in real life, when I was returning a key to my old apartment. And we ended up chatting about the temple that I go to and that he was interested in going to. And There were so many like funny synchronicities, and he literally said he had been looking for a sign on if he should go visit the temple, and here I appeared in his field, and it was so funny, so beautiful. Oh, I love that message though, Rob. Thank you for sharing that. I got this in Utah. I got this in Utah. Utah has amazing crystals and rocks to share. Nick, third eye is our sixth chakra, right? And it's the experience of intuition, divine knowing, insight, whereas nirvana itself in in concept is actually just like complete liberation of the soul, right? Like an experience of enlightenment. I'm just catching up here. If you guys have any thoughts or questions, you can keep sending them. Let it be, let it be, let it be. Exactly. Yes, George, I absolutely am exactly where I want to be because I'm here. Kate, what would you say to someone that says it's too painful to just be? I have a family member who struggles and I don't know how to explain it to them. Ah, because you're hearing this because you're in a space you can hear it. We only get the next message when the next message is meant to hit our ears. That's all. So that family member, we can't even look at them in the same light because they're not you. They're not your being, right? When that message is meant to hit them, it's meant to hit them. But that can be a totally different world away for some people right now, right? That's the truth. It can be really a world away. You guys are here now, and that's all. That's because you're ready to receive, right? You're in this space also. Part of you, whether you know it or not, is in this space also. Oh, Saranka, love you. I always feel so much oneness with you too. The spirit says just be it. Yes. I have an unrelated question. Do you consider yourself a follower of the Shakta path? I was wondering what your opinion is of Vaishnavites. I am a Shaivite predominantly, but also I don't know. Again, labels never do anything justice. I'm a very multidimensional being. I'm very connected to Shaktism as well as Vaishnavism. If I would have to say, if anything, from like my past lives and my inner soul space of what I'm the most familiar with is definitely Vaishnavism. I know, like at just a very, very soul conscious level, I've been in that path for quite some time beyond this lifetime. So I feel very, very heart connected to it. Awesome, Rob. Great to hear that. Once consciousness becomes hypnotized into believing it is a separate identity. Beautiful. Exactly, Eric. Hi, Prasiddha, you spoke about initiation by Sri Yukteswar. Could you talk a bit more? I'm very curious. Chaitanya, I honestly, that was most of my experience that I shared in that video. But let me know if you have like a specific question about it. Ram Ram, thank you. Oh, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate your donations in abundance. It allows us to share this space more frequently, and flower. So I thank you. I appreciate that. Flower goddess, so sweet of you. Love you. Why do I get so emotional for everything? It can be a flower, a child, a person who is sick. Could you shed some light? Hey, I think that's beautiful. You're just in a pure space of beingness. You're feeling that oneness. I can relate. I've always been that type of person myself, from young age, and I feel what anything I around me is feeling. So take it like that. I think take it as a positive, if anything, but also know you always have the ability to be rooted in yourself and grounded in yourself. You don't have to let those emotions rule you or jar you, but let them flow through you, let them flow through you like a river. That's very beautiful though. Enjoy it for what it is in this lifetime. Yes, I have studied Kashmir Shaivism as well. That's a huge part of what my guru teaches, as well as what I've personally like been super interested in and studied. I have much more to learn though. Cowboy Swami, thank you again for your donation. How do you deal with horrible long-term medical situations in the present? Exactly. There's it's not that we need the past or the future to help us in this moment, right? So whatever you're currently dealing with, whatever is in your current field of reality, whether it's having a cough, whether it's having a chronic illness, whether it's having a broken leg, take that exactly for what it is in the moment. All I'm saying is, right, that storyline doesn't need to be there because it also prevents healing. This is a really big thing we learn in energy healing as well, right? When we have told ourselves a story that I am ill or I have this lifelong thing or I've even had this issue for X amount of years, blah, 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 right? This storylines can delay ourselves from even moving forward in the healing process, right? Because that in itself is creating that same story over and over again instead of allowing a new story to be told. Let me know if like what else you want to know about that in particular, or if I can help in any other way. I'm so nervous to visit a temple. Kate, there's it's such a warm space, honestly. I think you'll have a beautiful experience. Don't overthink it. And yes, I can definitely Cowboy Swami, if you're like looking to get a specific like medical evaluation and you want to treat it holistically, I do that, right? So if you're interested, I can always help you out in that way as well. There's it's the surrendering of the how, Victoria. You are at peace with the present moment. And I'm not just saying that to be cute. You are at peace with the present moment already. What's not at peace with it is only the thoughts that are running in your mind, right? Your being already is in that space. So tap into your being. How can we do that deeper? Meditation. Meditation, meditation, meditation. And the simplest explanation is the way we tap into our being. And there are other ways. For some people, it's how we enter into the no mind state. Some people, it's when they're doing art or playing music. Some people, it's when they're dancing, right? A lot of times, getting even into the body can help pull us out of the mind. So I encourage you to look at those practices, feel that out, what that feels like for you, that what helps you get into your being, and do those, right? Practice those until it's second nature for you. Just, yeah, exactly. Um, Yeah, I understand. That can be very challenging. That can be very challenging, and I feel for you on that one, Cowboy Swami. Thank you for answering my question. I was wondering, have you ever encountered any vision about Lord Ram? No, not in particular. I hope I will at one point. I get jealous of people who are devoted to Vedic culture and gods. How do I get such devotion? Simply ask for it. Ask for it as a boon, and it will be given to you. Yes. Sending you a lot. Oh, thanks guys for all the support. That's sweet for him. Hyper said, I've been on a spiritual path for almost 3 years. I felt I made progress during the early stages, and now I feel like I've hit a roadblock. What do I do? Find a guru? That's exactly what I'm talking about in this video, right? Though I had the exact same feeling. I had the exact same feeling for like a year where I was like comparing my present experience of spirituality to my past experience of spirituality. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Excuse my French, but seriously, it is. Because that in itself is the problem. We're looking at the past again. We're thinking it looks one way. We're thinking that this is like this linear thing that's going to keep happening step by step by step. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. You don't need to be anywhere else than what you are. You don't even need to achieve what you think you need to achieve. Accept exactly what you're experiencing now and look for nothing else. Look for nothing else. It's like the problem is we're looking to experience something different than what we are experiencing, right? This is exactly what I was stuck in. I was wanting to feel something I wasn't feeling. Therefore, am I in acceptance? Absolutely not. I'm in resistance to exactly what I'm experiencing. I'm in resistance to what is. What if I decided to have radical acceptance of the emotion I'm feeling right now, of the space I'm in, of the motivation or lack thereof, any type of expectation I have on what this looks like, it's a lie. It's a lie. And who are we to say? Who are we to say that a certain pace is better than a slower pace, or that having X amount of mystical experiences means we're doing well? Like all of this is again, it's this silly story that we make up. Like none of it is true. None of it is necessarily true, right? We can enjoy these experiences that we have as little gifts, little nuggets, blessings along the way, but that's that's not saying that every other experience isn't beautiful too, even when it feels dull even, or when it feels painful, or when it feels just like blah, you know? All of these things are okay too. They're also teachers. They're also teachers. But to answer your second question, can having a guru's presence in our life accelerate the path in a lot of ways? Absolutely. That is true, because their presence is like uh they're just a reflector, just like I'm reflecting to you and you guys are reflecting to me with your questions and interactions. A guru also reflects from a really, really high dimension of beingness, presence, so that you are rooted in that space whenever you're around them, whenever you're interacting with them. That's the secret. They're not trying to teach you anything. They're trying to root you in beingness just by mirroring their space. That's all it's about. And that's the biggest gift about it. It's the biggest gift about it for sure. Um, okay, sorry, we catching up here, guys. Thanks for your patience. Um, can you even start to have Kundalini activity before you know what it is? Um, Again, I recommend if you want to get deep into Kundalini sciences, to be initiated by an enlightened master is one of the easiest, safest routes. Okay. I am worried about vaccine mandates. I have heard Germany wants to start. I live in the Netherlands. I feel a bit anxious last days. Yeah, Crystal, join the Telegram group. We can chat more about that there. I'm literally not able to talk about it on YouTube, sadly. Joshua, facts. I had eczema still. 18 doctors told me I was allergic to many foods. I just told myself I don't have allergies and turned vegan, and now I don't have skin problems. That's amazing. I love it. Love to hear it. Thank you, Chaitanya, for your donation. Anesha, can you tell me how I deal with scalp eczema, dermatitis, any Ayurvedic cure or tips for it? Yes, yes, there is. I can help with that in a consultation. So follow that link and we can chat. We can chat. I do free 15-minute evaluations as well, and I can share more with you there. How long do I need to take Haritaki to see difference? It's different for everybody. Some people take a few weeks. Some people take maybe a month or two to start feeling the benefits. Is there a difference between what we here in the West think meditation is and what you've experienced in India? Yeah, Link, definitely. There is, in the sense that I would say a lot of the meditation practices here in the West are more mindfulness practices, and meditation in yogic tradition is mindlessness practice. So um it's not that they're bad, like it's still really useful. It can help meet people where they're at, right? If somebody's at the initial stages of entering into meditation and these practices, it can be really impossible to just expect them to be able to sit in silence and meditate, right? Or to even go beyond the thoughts and meditate. That can take some practice or time, and even that I'm like laughing that I'm saying that, because we're talking about the the whole topic is that we don't know time really exists, right? But that being said, they're more focused in channeling, bringing the mind to like a visualization or regulation, right? And that kind of thing. Where am I scrolling here? Okay. Oh, here. Fernando, where to buy quality crystal pendants? I honestly don't buy them. Like, it's hard. I can't really say, because I find them when I, like, travel and when I like, in random little spots or somebody gives them to me. So, yeah, be here now. Yes, going with the flow of existence, exactly. That's so funny, Saranka, you manifested it. I wasn't even planning to actually too, as well. I wasn't planning to. Um, can Guru suffer and and others around him are still in a different space? Can Guru have mind problems and still be Guru? Like, is a Guru still Guru if they're not doing right choices? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, but in the sense of like traditionally that word we use for enlightened masters. So no, they do not experience suffering anymore. They're beyond that space. Enjoy, Joshua. Hope you have a beautiful day. That's awesome. Paul, that's so funny that you said great job discussing the Vana venture or good journey through the cosmos. I don't know if you like even meant to have that connection from me, but the school I grew up going to was called Saint Bonaventure. That's hilarious. That's hilarious that you just brought up that terminology to me because I spent like so much of my childhood, kindergarten to eighth grade, I went to a school, Catholic school called Saint Bonaventure, and my mom still works there actually. Shout out Debbie. Oh, thanks, Kate. There you go. Awesome. Helping each other out. Community. I love it. I love it. Ah, awesome, beautiful guys. I love you all so much. This was a super fun live. I really appreciated all of your insights, interactions, energy, exchange, etc. So much love for each and every one of you. Again, if you are interested in connecting deeper with me related to any Ayurvedic issues, health issues, etc., you can book a consultation with me. That link will be down below once I log off here. Also on Telegram, you can chat more with me and each other in the Telegram group, which the link will also be in the description once I log off here. And so, yeah, looking forward to connecting with you guys further. That's awesome. And no, my family actually, yes, partially. My family in general, my larger family is not Hindu. They're all Catholic. My mom is Hindu, and my brother is Hindu now. Both of them. Yeah. Although my mom doesn't really call herself Hindu, although she's practices a lot of Hinduism. Exactly. Yeah. Beautiful. Much love, everybody. Take care. Nithyanandam. Namaste. And I'll see you guys in the next video.